Tonight, the Pulse Memorial Advisory Committee met for a second night, rounding out the group's first official meeting. Thank you for joining us. I'm Michelle Imparato.
I'm Stuart Moore. It was another night of high emotions and questions surrounding the makeup of the committee. West News' Jesse Pagan is live for us in downtown Orlando outside the Kia Center. Jesse, you are in those talks again tonight.
Yeah, Michelle, Stu, you said it right there. Now, once again, the committee did meet inside a conference room inside the Kia Center. They did do some work on the memorial, talk about what should be part of it and the ideation behind it. However, the question of who sits on this committee and why some parents and mothers are not on it yet is still looming.
Today I am here.
Anxious, but hopeful.
A mix of emotions amongst the members of the Pulse Memorial Advisory Committee as they met for a second day.
The mayor make the appointments of each of you on the basis of your particular perspectives.
The meeting starting with facilitator Dr. Larry Schooler addressing public comments from the night before, many which questioned the makeup of the committee.
Not a single family member, a single survivor, or a single person impacted by the tragedy who will not have the ability to influence the work that we are doing here.
The committee did work on the memorial. They talked about possibly taking cues from others.
I do like the idea of a private area.
Maybe a more private area for reflection and grieving, highlighting the different cultures and stories of the 49, and even including some kind of water feature as a nod to the ones at Pulse.
Y pues, fuimos rechazadas.
But during public comment, the focus shifted back to who sits on the committee.
That's one of the things I asked. How can we either get the 8 mothers on the committee or give them a more, personal explanation as to why, not just leave them up in the air.
Norman Casiano is a survivor and committee member.
And at the end of the day, they were the mothers of those who passed, so they should be here right alongside me.
It's a sentiment several members have agreed with. Some public comments even questioned the idea of the memorial also commemorating survivors instead of just the 49. That's a point Norman made from the survivors' end.
The same way we can be interviewed and our story likes to be, asked about and told, I feel like we should be put at the same level as those who passed.
Obviously, the stress of waiting 8 years to see any movement on a memorial has to be impacting every reaction that I think people are having.
Schooler says he understands, and while it's up to the mayor and city to decide to expand the committee, he says he may end up talking with people off it more than the members themselves.
The hope is that through a variety of means, including one-on-one conversations, including public events, the families will really feel heard.
Now, that is something that several committee members, survivors like Norman, say that that's what they're here to do, to be a voice and hear those things from family members who are not part of this committee. Now, after tonight's meeting, there was an open house also here at the Kia Center where the public could come in, leave comments on sticky notes that will then be read by the committee and taken as input as they do their work. Now, the committee, the next time they meet will be about a month from now, August 21st. Live in downtown Orlando tonight, Jesse Pagan, WESH 2 News.